Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. I know Zul's been out a few days and this is my first video, but hopefully you can forgive me for the delay. So, I have played him, I think, in 3 quick match games and about 5 custom games now. I think I'm starting to get an understanding of the character. He has a wide variety of builds that he's been having some success with over on HoTs, and he's actually the #1 character in the game right now as far as win rate. A lot of people have been saying he's not overpowered though. The general community seems to think that his current kit, his current numbers are pretty good. I would love your guys' feedback on that because a 60% win rate seems a little bit high to me, but he is a melee specialist who summons skeletons and throws scythes, and generally speaking, he's a lot of fun.
It is time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, after a very long queue, which seems to be pretty normal with Zul. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, these teams though. I wish we had a support and a healer, or support and a tank rather. Really wish we did, but you know what, we'll try to make this work. The friendly team, Lunara, Zul, Nova, Li Ming, and Falstad. The enemy team, Nova, Li Ming, Jaina, Azmodan, and Jim Raynor. We are going to be going for Bone Armor evades basic attacks. This should help us with the damage Jim Raynor can throw out, and what am I stuck on? And, you know, kind of help with Nova a little bit. If we can evade Nova, depending on the build she takes, that can be a lot of damage mitigated. Bone Armor is our #1. It's an active ability. He starts out with an active ability. And it's going to allow us to just give ourselves a bit of a shield. Now, with the talent that we picked up at level 1, that is going to increase the cooldown by 10 seconds. So we are looking at a 40-second cooldown for our Bone Armor. So I guess top lane is just too fucking hard and everybody's leaving? What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, because, you know, if it's too hard going 1 versus 3, or 3 versus 3, or whatever we had, I'm sure this is better. Okay, yeah, no problem. Our Q ability, my favorite ability in his kit is I don't know what it's called actually. Spectral Scythe. I don't think I've ever read it. Spectral Scythe. It throws out a scythe and it kind of works as a reverse skill shot. Instead of the spell like being created at your body, you create the spell off in the distance and then it travels to you. It kind of cleaves everyone in the way. It will travel through targets, so you are able to hit multiple enemies with this, and it's a pretty good, reliable damage source. Really, no matter what the situation. We are going to be focusing on this Q ability throughout the majority of our build, and it's actually going to be pretty strong late game, I hope. Versus this team, it may not be as strong. Like I said, I don't have a ton of experience with this character. I'm just starting to get an idea of how he should be played, or how I think he should be played. So if I don't do everything quite right, let's give me a little bit of room. Let's give me a little bit of forgiveness. I'm just now getting back into the swing of things. Was pretty ill this whole week. Basically, all of the games I played, except for a few Gazlo games, were done on stream, and I was not playing very well on stream this week at all, as I'm sure you guys noticed if you were there. So we are actually ahead on this race. The enemy team is going to have to defend against us. And it looks like there's a little bit of a team fighting going on, but we're able to pick up a kill on the enemy team's Jaina. At level 4, we are going to go for Death's Reach, which is going to increase the range that we can summon our Spectral Scythe. Is that what it's called? Yeah. So basically, we're a little bit safer. We can stand a little bit farther back versus this team. And again, it's still a really reliable way of dealing damage, and we're going to be able to do that pretty safely. If we go up to the top lane, I can show you a little bit of his lane clear. It's actually phenomenal. We're going to be using our Curse Strikes ability, and we're just going to cleave everything. Just cleave everything. It lasts for 4 seconds. It has a 12-second cooldown, I believe. 15-second cooldown, so a little bit longer than I thought. But essentially, you turn this ability on, and then all of a sudden, you just kind of kill an entire minion wave. His lane clear is just phenomenal. Zul is amazing at clearing lanes. And I think he can really pressure a team that maybe gets a little too complacent with where they position early on. But I do not, and I cannot stress this enough, do not think he is very good at split pushing deep into the enemy territory. Little stuff like this is fine. We should live through whatever they throw at us in a situation like this, but let's say this building was already down and I'm trying to push deep into the enemy team's keep. While, you know, they may have their attention elsewhere, he's not very good at that. And the reason for that is because he doesn't really have anything to really keep him alive. Or more importantly, get away from people that's trying to kill him. Now, you can get a slow on the Q, and obviously his other ability, if you didn't know already, his E ability is called Bone Prison. And that is a pretty interesting mechanic on that. It spawns basically some kindergarten art around a target, and then after 2 seconds, that target will be rooted for 2 seconds. So they get a very, very big warning that, hey, things are about to go down, get the fuck out. And if they don't get the fuck out in that 2 second time, they are then rooted for 2 seconds, and you can do a lot in that 2 seconds, especially on an organized team where everyone is kind of... Okay, we're gonna go for Ray's Skeleton heals me. Where everyone is, you know, coordinating their stuns and trying not to overlap with crowd control. You can do so much work with the Bone Prison. It's such a long time. Now, a root is not as good as a stun, obviously. You can still cast your abilities, you can still fight back, but you can't use any type of gap closer to get away from anyone that's killing you. I typically use this ability not on the... Well, it is kind of on the offensive, but with the mentality of taking advantage of someone's positioning mistakes. Not really looking to cause positioning mistakes with it. You know, sometimes on a noob rank, you dive right in with Burrow Charge to make people scatter. I'm not going in with the mentality of trying to make everyone run away from me. I'm waiting for someone to get a little too overeager, to step out a little bit too much, and really capitalize on that 2 second root time. Like I said, it does feel like an eternity in this game. I did go for the heal on minions. Raising a skeletal warrior heals you for 90 health. I do believe that number continues to scale throughout the course of the game, and the skeletal minions are just what we do passively while we're in a lane. So whenever a minion dies or whatever, we can just walk right over, spawn a skeleton guy, and is he AFK? We can just walk right over, kill some minions. We can spawn 4 skeletons at a time, but as you can see, I was able to top my health off just fine. All right, that'll be an easy kill on Jaina, and then we'll kind of reposition. We have kind of, we've lost a lot of our team here. Not from deaths, but they're definitely low on health, so they are going back. But now we do have Falstad on the scene. Could have used bone armor there to mitigate a little bit of damage. Didn't quite do it in time. Looks like Jim Raynor is going to die. Oh my god, so good, Pally Time, how you just walked into all those stuns. I'm going to be punished for that pretty hard here. I am using the root on the enemy team's Li Ming. I don't think it's going to quite be enough. But again, we can just come up here and get a lot of our health back. Raising skeletons will be good. Will be good. There is another talent that I prefer a bit more. It is it's in the same tier. It's called Harvest Vitality. Whenever you use your W ability on a hero and you hit him with the cleave, you're going to be healing yourself. Now, generally speaking, I think that's a better survivability talent. I don't know for sure if, you know, that's the actual case, but it feels like a better survivability talent to me. But the problem is I don't necessarily want to be trading with this enemy team very much at all. I'm actually kind of afraid of the amount of burst that they could do to me. So, you know, I'm okay with just raising skeletons and getting healed that way. It allows me a way to sustain where I don't have to be in hero versus hero fights, kind of PvE oriented. I did pick up the Poison Nova Ultimate. Basically, think of Diablo's Fire Stomp, Diablo's W ability. Think of that, but a much longer range and damage over time instead of just, you know, a little bit of fire damage thrown in. It can do a deceptive amount of damage, especially with the level 20 upgrade. If I do decide to go that route, we're going to use my root here on Jim Raynor. We're going to hit him with the Scythe as well. And just look at that poison damage coupled with Lunara there. We were able to do a lot of work. I do have to turn around and kill those Banshees before I am taken down, but it looks like we are going to be okay. And then here, I don't really have to go back. I can just cycle up to middle lane, or top lane in this case. kill a few minions, and again, I'll be sitting kind of pretty. It's not going to be a ton of health, but it's going to be enough where I can like safely stay alive. I don't have to worry about what's going on, and then I can go somewhere else while these bone skeletons are doing things. At level 13, I am going to go for Decrepify. This is going to allow me to spawn, or allow my Spectral Scythe, not spawn, but my Spectral Scythe. I don't know where I was going with that. It's going to allow this ability to slow opponents, so it does give us a little bit more control. But not a ton. You know, it's kind of just helps you secure kills a little bit. Like I said at the beginning of this video, or at least I hope I said, there are a lot of builds for Zul that are currently working right now, and they're all really competitive with one another. So it seems like he has a lot of versatility in how he can be played. This is just the way I prefer to play him and how I've had success. You can definitely change it up quite a bit. In fact, I believe the most successful builds right now are the ones that are purely focused on summoning in these raised skeletons, these skeletal warriors, which is surprising to me. It's a very drastic shift, and I want to try it out to see how it works, and that may be our next video for Zul. The enemy team is missing in their entirety, so you can see I'm trying to be a little careful with my positioning here. I want to make sure I can get out, but Falstad doing quick work to that tower. We're going to help him out a little bit. I don't want him to feel abandoned. We do have vision of 3 members of the enemy team down in the bottom lane, and I'm not afraid of this Azmodan shit at all. We can just go in and start to cleave this down, and we'll be fine. We actually counter Azmodan quite hard. Azmodan has nothing on Zul, to be totally honest. I'm just tanking this, not too worried about it. We'll get this tower and then I'll peace out. We're going to use my bone armor here to mitigate some of the damage that Li Ming was doing. And then I'm just going to go focus on killing these immortals. You know, because that's important. We do currently have a 3-level lead on the enemy team. They are getting hit pretty damn hard. Doesn't seem like it's going too well for them. They are forced to defend top lane right now, and bottom lane is almost completely dead as well. We don't have our bone armor yet, so I should actually position a little bit more cautiously. I'm going to stand on this side, so just in case I need to leave, I can just swoop out that way. Motherfucker, you were supposed to go away, not stun me. Anyway, I can dip out and go get the sippy cup while that's going on. We still have the 3-level advantage. The enemy team is going to have to defend unless they want to lose the game right here. Now, I mentioned, I hope I mentioned, guys, I'm still in a bit of a fog. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I really am. I mentioned that he has fantastic lane clear, but I don't think he's very good at split pushing at all. And the main reason for that is the fact that, where are you going? Seriously, where are you going though? Gotcha! The main reason for that is he doesn't have the tools really necessary to travel long distances safely. He doesn't have any means of juking an enemy team. Really, his only survivability tool that he has is his ability to root someone. And yes, it does pay off very often, but that root is not going to save you if multiple people are chasing after you. Now, we do have the slow on our Q as well, but think about the successful split pushers in this game. Think about the Gazlows, and, you know, I guess Azmodan to an extent is pretty good at it. Abathur is really good at it. Murky is really good at it. They all have mechanics in which they can easily, Sylvanas as well. Sylvanas is a great example of this as well. They have mechanics in which they can easily enter an area, deal a lot of damage in a short time, and then leave that area relatively safely. Azmodan maybe not so much, but he is a big ball of health. I believe he is still the highest amount of health in the game without talenting or anything, other than Cho'Gall. Well, we pushed in here really hard. I don't think we're going to be able to get much more. We do have a lot of damage output, but it's not like we have any survivability at all. So rushing a core down at the 12-minute mark doesn't seem like it's within the realm of possibility for us. I am going to wait for this minion wave to kind of catch up, though. I would like to cleave some minions down and get some health back. I am pretty fucking overextended here, though, so we're going to have to be quick about it. We'll just go ahead and spawn our 4 warriors, get our health back, and then leave. I like that. I like that mechanic a lot, actually. I might have to use this town a bit more often. And you can see, without focusing on it a super large amount, we are easily the highest siege damage in the game, and significantly more. We have significant, well, I guess it's not significantly, but we do have more XP contribution than everyone on our team. And, you know, I'm not really making split pushing a priority. I'm just making I'm just, you know, going over there to get health, and we can cleave a minion wave down in a matter of 3 auto attacks. It's absolutely ridiculous how fast he can clear a lane. But again, he doesn't have the escapes necessary to really go deep into enemy territory and survive. So I like to compare him to Johanna when Knight Takes Pawn was incredibly strong. You know, Johanna in between other events that were happening in the game, so let's say you just turned in an objective or something, Johanna could then just hop into a lane, get some XP, and leave. Poison Nova working out really, really well there versus that Gem Rainer. God, that's such an insane amount of poison damage when you couple it with Lunara as well. We actually just picked up another kill with it, I think? I don't know, actually. I didn't quite see. Didn't quite see. The enemy team's Nova. Not going to make it much longer. I'm sorry, Boo. And now, with nearly the entire enemy team dead, this is definitely an opportunity where we could push core. But they are going to be up in like 10 seconds. It's not a long time at all. We're only 14 minutes into this game. This is a little bit... Maybe we should just do the objective. We have no sustained. We can't just push in here. As much as I want to. I really want to just push in there and kill the core. Really, really bad. In my warm-up game leading up to this game, I was getting so frustrated. I was in a 30-minute match where the enemy team's core was at 30% for something like 8 minutes. Just an absurd amount of time. And the team was just so afraid of killing the core. That's such a foreign concept to me. Why do you not want to win the video game? Isn't winning the video game the whole reason you're here? I don't understand. I don't get it. We are going to go full offensive here, though. The enemy team, they're starting to contest us a little bit. We are going to have Poison Nova ready in just a few moments, but I am pretty overextended here. The Banshee's coming out for the enemy team. I'm just going to throw some scythes at him and try to reposition. Now, with this build, we are able to throw a ton of scythes at the... Oh, my God. What a good shock and awe. We are able to throw a ton of scythes at the enemy team. We're going to have to Bone Armor here and Poison Nova. I don't think it's going to be enough. But again, look at the amount of poison damage that we threw out on the battlefield with just that one ability. Really, I think it's psychological warfare more than anything. Because that damage, of course, is not going to kill them. I believe that damage happens over the course of 10 seconds. But just knowing, like, this impending doom that's happening on Azmodan right now is fucking psychological warfare. I actually didn't like Poison at all in this game. I thought it was really fucking lame. But the more I've seen Lunara played, and the more I see the Poison Nova ultimate being used on Zul, I kind of like Poison, guys. It's kind of cool. Because it's like, yeah, you're getting bursted down and it sucks, but you still have that window of opportunity to just fuck someone up before you die. I always get the impression of like, well, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna take you down with me. You know, when I have no way to heal and they've already just dumped all of their damage in the form of poison on me. It's like, that makes me go ham in a team fight. That makes me want to take some names and numbers and kill people. I don't know what the fucking saying is. So at this level range, normally I would go for the Mortal Wound. Very Q-focused build, as you can see here. Extremely Q-focused. I would go for the Mortal Wound to reduce the amount of healing that a support could do. We should just kill the core, guys. Just hit the core. But I'm not going to be doing that today. Instead, we'll just go for, like, I don't know, more Poison Nova damage or something. Let's go with this fucking spear thing. Maybe I can just win the game with that. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here for 20 fucking minutes while this game... I'm not going to go through that again. I'm just going to win the game. So yeah, what do I think of Zul? Great at getting a lot of XP in a very short amount of time in between objectives. Really good at cleaving in team fights. He has his own heals that can keep him alive relatively well, and multiple ways of doing that heal. Like, there's 2 different talents that are, you know, they're both pretty good at healing. He is punished really, really hard for overextending, but he can also punish others exactly the same for overextending with his E ability, and I think that's super strong. And I think it's interesting that Blizzard was so worried about a stun meta. You know, previously saying that the stun meta was a little bit too strong. That's why we received so many changes to cleanse. And then throwing out a character that can root you for 2 fucking seconds and then the enemy team can cycle stuns around that. It's like a very, very obvious animation, so they can just hold on to their stuns, and then after the root ends, throw their stuns out one after another. It's actually really easy to layer CC on top of that ability, especially if you have someone on your team like a Tyrande, or I also think Zul and Kerrigan would be really, really strong, other than the fact that they're both melee. Yeah, so I think that's interesting. But he has a ton of build diversity. He has a lot of really good success with a variety of builds right now. I do think that's going to change over time as people kind of nail down the playstyle. I think everybody is trying out a lot of different things. Again, this has been what's working best for me. Very Q-focused builds. I normally go for the heal on your W ability at level 7, but because we didn't have any front line and no supports, I did go for the heal off of the minion wave, and it worked out really, really well. So thank you all for being patient for this video. I know you've been waiting a few days for it. I hope I'm getting back in the swing of things, but I'm gonna take it easy and start focusing on my health a little bit more. I think that's important. Anyway, thank you all for watching. See you all next time. I'm gonna have a cough drop. Okay, bye.